So for starting the daisy, we are going to take the yellow color for making the center first. Okay, so we are going to start by making a semicircle. Okay, grab the yarn, chain 1. Okay, now we are going to make 9 half double crochet in this semicircle. So wrap your yarn, insert your hook in the circle, grab the yarn, pull it out, and then pull through all. So 1 half double crochet. So let's do the remaining one. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me make it a little smaller, and last is 9. Let's count and make sure we have 9 half double crochet here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this is the first one, 9. Okay, so we have our 9 half double crochet. We are going to pull this tail to close the circle. Okay, and now we are going to go in this first half double crochet. Okay, the first one here, in that we are going to go and make our slip stitch. Okay, you can always go and count 9 half double crochet backward and see which is the first one. Okay, chain 1. Now we're going to grab our scissors, snip the yarn. We don't need much tail. Okay, now the hook is still there. We are just going to pull the yarn out of that loop. Okay, and then pull it tight to cinch it. Okay, and now we have our center ready. Okay, for our daisy. So we have our center ready. Now let's make the petals. Okay, so we are going to insert our hook in the first place where we did the slip stitch and join the circle. Over there we are going to insert our hook, then grab our white color. You can use any color if you want. You can do this for other flowers also. Okay, make a slip knot, place it on the hook, then pull the loop through that stitch and out here. Okay, now we are going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so this is chain 3 for starting. Now in that same place where we did our chain 3, we are going to put 2 treble crochet. So yarn over for double and treble. So yarn over 2 times, insert your hook in the same place where you did your chain 3, pull out the loop, pull out, pull through 2, pull through 2 and 2. So it will be 3 times. So wrap 2 times, insert your hook, same place where we did our first treble, and then pull through, pull it out. Okay, then pull through 2, pull through 2 and 2. So that's the one part. Now we go into the next stitch and we put this 3 things in the next stitch. Okay, we are just repeating that same thing. So it will be 2 treble and 1 chain 3. So let's put the 2 treble in the next stitch, 1 treble, 2 treble and the chain 3. So we'll chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and slip stitch back in that stitch. Okay, so we have finished our one petal here. So this is our first petal done. So we are using 2 stitches for 1 petal. Okay, so now we are going to slip stitch in the next stitch to start our next petal. Okay, chain 3, 2 treble in that same stitch, now chain 3, sorry, now in the next stitch 2 treble and chain 3, 1, 2 and chain 3. So we have finished our second petal. Let's do our third, fourth and fifth. Okay, okay, so here I have finished my 4 petals. Now for the 5th petal, you will say we have just left with 1 stitch, but we have this false stitch or the slip stitch we do, so that's also we are going to count. Now if we would put 10 stitches as per 2 stitches per petal, then we would have 1 extra space and it would be difficult to join. Okay, so now we are using this space, the slip stitch area, also as a stitch, and we are making our last petal in that. So 1, 2, 3, 2 treble, to treble in the next, chain 3 and slip stitch. So we have used the slip stitch area also, and now you see it looks very uniformed. Okay, and it looks very neat and clean. So now once we finish the last petal, we are going to slip stitch in the first starting petal here. Okay, go there. I'm keeping all my tails out of my way, and then slip stitch. Okay, we have slip stitch at the starting. Now I'll put the starting petal just like this, bend it forward. Okay, and then slip stitch, oh sorry, then chain 1. Okay, so chain 1 and snip the yarn, and that's done. Okay, so now we have finished our daisy here. So you're going to make 10 of them for our vase. Okay, and now let's make the leaves. Okay, so what I'm going to do, one last thing here is put a knot. I'm knotting the yellow and yellow very slightly. Okay, not very hard, but they won't come undone by the time I make the other ones. 2 knots and done. So here I have finished my daisy. Now let's do the sepal part. Okay, how we can turn this applicate into a flower with the sepal and stem. Okay, so you're going to grab your green color for that, and it's very simple. We are going to start with the magic circle, our sin circle. Okay, insert your hook in the first and then grab the second, pull it out. Okay, now chain 1, and in this we are going to do 10 half double crochet. Okay, now we are going to do all the 10. One is here, let's complete all 10. 2, 3, 4. Once you finish your 10 half double crochet, just pull the tail to close the circle. Okay, now in this first half double crochet you're going to slip stitch and join, chain 1, and now we are going to snip the yarn, not very big. Okay, and just going to pull the yarn out of the stitch and then pull the tail to cinch the stitch and make it tight. Okay, so now we have a circle here. Okay, so now what we are going to do, you're going to take your wire. Now you can take whichever wire you want. I have this wire, it comes as a floral wire. You take whichever wire you want, which is little bit steady, okay, not too bendy, and it can bend also very easily. Okay, or if you want to take toothpick, also will do. Little bit, it will be smaller, but it will do. Or you can take any stick, whichever you like. Okay, so now I'm going to insert this from the front side. This is the right side of the circle, and this is the wrong side where I have the tail. Okay, the starting tail. So I'm going to insert this from the center, from the right side, coming out here. Okay, so I'm going to give little bit, just a ½ inch, you can see. Okay, and then grab our glue gun and add a glue and that. Okay, and then we are going to wrap it with our tail, which is there, which we use, which is the starting tail, that one. Okay, wrap it nicely and try to glue it. Okay, now what we do, we curve it like this to give us shape of the sepal. Okay, so we have got our sepal here. Just fold this tail inside and put it inside. Okay, so we have our sepal and we have our applicate. Now what we do, I'm just going to snip the yarn here, excess yarn, you don't need it. Okay, I have already knotted them, so they are there here secure. Now I'm going to put glue only for the yellow part. Okay, only for the yellow part we are going to add a nice amount of glue here, a good amount. Okay, and then take this and just stick it like this, nice and secured, and we have our sepal ready. And we have our flower applicate on a stick. Okay, now we have the stem, we have the sepal. Let's cover the stem. Okay, we are going to put little glue at here. Okay, then I'm going to grab my green color, just fold it like this and then wrap. When you reach at the end, just add the glue, wrap, snip the yarn, and we have to and our flower with the sepal and a stem is ready. So what you have to say, I hope you enjoyed making this lovely daisies with the stem and the sepal, and now you can turn any flower according to your liking. Okay, if you want to keep it as an applicate, or you can make it in this way, totally up to you. So I hope you enjoyed making this flower with me, and hope to see you in our next video with something new and something fun. Till then, take care and bye bye.